First, first of all, I hope I won't run to the shelter with my baby, because I don't want him to know these kind of things that I felt and experienced in my life. And I hope I will grow my baby to teach him to love other people and to accept the different opinions and different religions and different beliefs, and not to be afraid of it. I don't want any mom in all the world, in all the countries, that she won't need to lose their baby, or she don't need to run with him to the shelter. And yeah.
I have a 5-month.
So the Indigenous Coalition, I responded to this Zionist propaganda about religious acceptance and so forth. And again, they did not allow me to do a counter response. I responded to this and I said, I can understand the part where she's preaching to her child to respect other people and their religious views. That's one thing which is good, but I disagree with what she said. If she's telling her child you can accept every other religion, she's not religious herself, because if she was, she would understand the seriousness of telling her child to follow any religion they want, because according to religious beliefs, there is only one way to heaven, and that's through the correct religion. If you love your family and your kids and you know your religion is the right one, as a parent, you should be teaching them that all other religions are false and that it's not acceptable to follow other false beliefs, as it can harm you in the afterlife. Just as we wouldn't want our children to go online and read about Al-Qaeda material and learn about terrorism, where their young minds can be manipulated by false beliefs, which can harm the individual. Similarly, we shouldn't be teaching our children that it's okay to follow another religion, which will also harm them in the afterlife. The punishment and harm of the afterlife far outweighs the bad things in this life, because it's for eternity, and thus why we should take it seriously. Now, the Indigenous Coalition Facebook page responded to this, but they didn't allow a counter response, and that's why I'm making this video. The Indigenous Coalition for Israel writes in response, she said she would teach her child about different religions so that the child understands them. Any study of theology would introduce you to all different religions with an idea of tolerance. Okay, so how do we respond to this? We can respond to this easily. She said she would teach her child about different religions so the child understands them. Yeah, sure. She can teach them about other religions so the child understands them, but she should teach them in a negative light. So, for example, she can tell them that the Hindus worship a cow, and this is so wrong because this is about paganistic rituals. This is about pagan. This could make you end up in hellfire. But you in return might say, well, that's just hate preaching. That's not tolerance, right? But is it hate preaching to teach them the truth, that this will make them end up in hellfire? So if I can preach that way, then that's fine. But if you're going to preach to your children and give them positive views such as, oh, Christians believe in the Son of God and this is okay because, creating blasphemy is okay because they may also end up in heaven as well. If you're going to wash that to your child, then that's wrong. You should, if you're going to teach them, if you're going to teach your children about other religions, then you should preach that it is in a bad light, that it is incorrect, because that's what God would command you to do within your own religion. Because if you read the Quran, and if you even read the Hebrew Bible, it condemns pagan rituals. It condemns those who worship idols. So if you're going to preach that to your child, I don't have a problem with that. But if you're going to go and preach cohesion, that all religions lead to God, as most universalists do, then that's wrong. And you can still tell your child that you can still live in tolerance with other faiths. So long as, for instance, the Christians pay their jizya, their taxes, then that's fine. You can live, and the Jews, and you can live in tolerance with them. But don't be a hypocrite about this, because when you say we need to live in tolerance, we need to preach them other religions so we can live in tolerance, but you don't live in tolerance with Muslims. You don't allow them to live by Sharia law. If you see a Muslim country that lives by Sharia law, you go and bomb them. You go and invade them. So don't give me this nonsense about we need to teach children about different religions because we need to live in tolerance with these people. You're a liar. The only tolerance you allow is if you reform those Muslim nations. Only then you live in tolerance with them. But if they go against your liberal values, you no longer live in tolerance. You no longer live in a difference of opinion with those countries. You don't even allow them to have a difference of opinion. You go there, bombard them, send in your NGOs to change that culture and that way of life. So don't give me this nonsense about teaching children about tolerance of other religions.